Were you, or were you not,
okay,
on a gay cruise?
No, you're 120% dick pic.
Everybody that age, they're sperminator.
Yeah.
Because we don't care about anything else. We're a walking hard on looking for a hole.
That's. I have to say you're right on that one. Oh, my God.
A stiff breeze comes through the room and you return the favor.
Got her in. Oh. Somewhere and outside of this building, there is a hole where squirrels come in.
Better than a hole where dicks come in.
Yeah, better than that.
Going down the stairs to wash the laundry. What the hell? Shh. Pizza. Stop! Stop it now! I order you to stop! I'm still touching myself.
Yeah!
All young bitches want to do is pop pills, smoke weed, get drunk, lay around, suck dick, eat hot Cheetos, charge they phone, get a sew and weave, twerk, be bisexual, eat McDonald's, wash they pussy in the sink, lie, take selfies, and talk shit through Wi-Fi because they phone never on.
I think washing they pussy in the sink is my favorite part. The Vietnamese trade in dongs. Figuratively and literally, I'm sure.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
I did decide to look it up. 500,000 dongs is a good night for Pop's ex.
Like most women, he's an emotional thinker.
Good God.
I mean, that's part of the problem we're having now in our society is we have a bunch of emotional thinkers that want the world to, to fall in line with their emotions. That's not... look, reality doesn't give a shit about emotions.
It's my lived truth. Fuck your lived truth.
No, it's not. It's your perspective.
Kiss my ass.
Literally like, hey, Sergeant Pop, you got to turn your bear suit. I'm like, over my dead body. No. Just give me a statement of charges. Yeah. You're never getting this back. Yeah. You can suck it.
I'm going to wear this with my Russian coat.
you will bury me in this. Hey! Why you gotta fucking be like that, man?
Because I'm an asshole, and I learned from the best. I'm sitting across from him, and I'm pointing at you with all four fingers.
All right, first of all, the Russian jacket is World War II surplus.
I'll send you a picture of it, Sarge.
Yeah, okay. I
got you standing wearing it with holding two giant buckets like you just collected all the chum from behind the dump dumpster at the bar, and you're going to go home and make ice cream out of it.
What's up, savages? Welcome to another episode of Grunt Speak that actually is Life in the Lair. All right. Now, we're living in troubled times, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies who downvote me. You're the only ones who pretty much watch the show. Just saying. We have been paralyzed with guilt, blame, and shame for the past 20 years. We've heard them say, the white society in the Western world is, the most reprehensible civilization that's ever existed, and we're responsible for all the wrongs in the world. And I'm getting kind of tired of hearing that. So we're going to roll this back, and we're actually going to talk about the Crusades on a historic level. I know there's a lot of people out there who wanted us to touch on some of the history of what's going on. Now, we have seen Islam invade pretty much Germany, all of Europe, the United States. We even have a mayor in Dearborn who's renaming street signs after Hamas and telling the Christians they're no longer welcome in their own city. So we're going to have to face this issue again. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I have nothing against Judaism or Islam. I'm just tired of paying for it with blood and treasure. And it looks like more than likely we're going to see something similar happen yet again. And I would like to have everyone out there who watches the show to have a baseline knowledge of exactly how it operates, what they've done in the past, and how some of those patterns you can see repeating on, at this very day in North Africa and in the Middle East. It's the same crap going down there. I'm going to be honest. We've been able to grow the Western civilization because we do not allow Judaism or Christianity to go off the rails and go back to what they were doing thousands of years ago. Typically, when that happens, compounds get burned down, crazy shit happens, so it doesn't get out of control. That is not happening as of yet with Islam, at least in the United States. And we're not going to go into a lot of those details because we're focusing on what happened in the past. And to be honest, from my knowledge of Islam back then and the Crusades, which while I was in college, I had to take half a dozen courses on this. You're going to find out, we're going to basically go through the evidence that the Crusades were justified. It just is what it is. So let's get Battle Dwarf on station. And I'm going to be honest, he's got a lot of information that I did not know. And this is going to be, quite frankly, a quite steep learning curve for the popster. So let us begin.
We are here. This is actually my clan's family motto, which is kind of fun. Diolch Bran in Welsh means literally God provides for the crows, but what it boils down to is God feeds the crows. Well, no time represents that better than the actual Crusades. There's a ton of history behind the Crusades. There's a lot of myths. There's a lot of movies out there that poorly represent. What was the one where Eva Green was in there? And I can't remember any of the other actors. I can't remember the name of the movie. What Kingdom of Heaven? Thank you.
That's one of my favorite ones. I watched the director's cut. I go to sleep with that one. I love that movie.
They portrayed a lot of that, kind of with a lot of Hollywood license. One, their portrayal of Europe as a dark, depressing, shitty, hellhole third world country at that time was nonsense. I've been to that part of the world, and I can tell you that they spent a lot of time taking care of their homes, their buildings, their countryside, and everything. It's all idyllic. All of those pictures you see of the idyllic English countryside in like 1940s movies, it's been that way for 1800 years. They take care of their stuff. So all of the movies for the Crusades that portray Europe as dark, dingy, shitty third world hellhole, and then you see the Muslim countries are all nice and shiny and clean, and look at this sweeping desert, isn't that pretty, is all propagandized nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that, like I said, I found out when I went over there, and I've talked to people who lived in some of the villages in England where they filmed a lot of that, and they say they literally bring in trucks full of dirt sometimes to make it look shitty and dingy, and then they clean everything up after they leave.
Mm.
So that's the propaganda you get. from the Bolshevik movie studios. Did you think you were going to get away with that just because we're talking about the Crusades? Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. None of that silliness, children. Anyway, I'm going to bring this one on because this here is a particularly fascinating one. And if anything, it should make some people start looking into this stuff themselves. We're going to cover the First Crusade tonight, but I'm going to give you the origin story.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
The Holy Lance was a so-called spear that they dug up and used that as a holy relic to rally the troops to actually win a very important battle, if I am correct.
That's what this story is. And the reason I chose it is it spans the whole period from the crucifixion of Christ to the First Crusade. This one incident covers that whole timeline in a single spear, which I thought was kind of neat. So the discovery of the Holy Lance on the 15th of June in 1098 was when the First Crusade got underway. The army of the First Crusade discovered the Holy Lance, the very spear that had pierced Christ's side on the cross, at the city of Antioch. Antioch is in the northern part of the Levant. For those of you who don't understand what the Levant is, it is the entire region from where Turkey ends and goes into Lebanon and down into what is now Israel, Syria, parts of Jordan, all the way to the Euphrates riverbed down by Egypt, where we've got that's where the bottleneck right now is with Gaza, where they've got the people trapped in Gaza. It's right up against that Euphrates area in Egypt.
So basically, most of it is, hugging up against the Mediterranean.
It is that big crescent along the Mediterranean. That is the Levant. And you'll hear that term.
Crescent. Yes.
It was at one time.
Yes.
That whole region has been a cradle of civilization since mankind started doing stuff, basically. Now, Mark Twain once famously cried about what a godforsaken, miserable desert it was. But he went there in the mid-1800s from Georgia. Now, if you go from Georgia to Tucson, you're going to go, oh my God, what a miserable, rotten, stinking desert. Because Georgia is a lush rainforest, basically. Do you understand what I'm saying? You track it?
You're talking about Jordan?
No, I'm talking about the Levant. I'm talking about Israel, what's now Israel. It would not have been Israel in the 1800s when Mark Twain was there. It would have still been Palestine, precisely, and Jordan. That area was referred to, where Palestine is now, was referred to as the Transjordan, by the way, and that does not mean it put on women's clothing. It was just part of the Kingdom of Jordan.
Okay.
So early in June 1098, the army of the First Crusade, heading south through Syria on its way to wrest Jerusalem from the Saracens, that was the Muslim army at the time, they captured the city of Antioch, was promptly shut in the city and besieged by a powerful Turkish and Arab force. Now, the Turks and the Arabs are two different people. They are. There's two totally different groups of people. Anyway, food quickly ran out. Morale plummeted. The Crusaders were near desperation when the situation was saved by a miraculous discovery. A scruffy Provençal peasant, Peter Bartholomew, Provençal is a region in France, with a reputation as a drinker and a womanizer, demanded to see the Count of Provence, one of the principal Crusade leaders. When given an audience by the Count and the Bishop of Lippi, he explained that St. Andrew had appeared to him in a vision. He was a patron saint of France at the time, and told him where the Holy Lance was, the very spear that had pierced Christ's side on the cross. It could be found in the Cathedral of St. Peter in Antioch. The bishop viewed the story with a cynical eye, but Count Raymond was impressed, and a mood of excited expectation began to spread through the hard-pressed Crusaders in the city.
Question.
Yes.
Is that the Spear of Destiny?
Yep.
That they have in the...
that is the very Spear of Destiny.
One that's held together with wire and gold foil, because, okay. I got it.
That is the Spear of Destiny. As Sir Stephen Runciman, the historian of the Crusades, remarked, it is useless now to judge what really happened. Raymond of Aguilera, a reputable historian who was one of Count Raymond's chaplains, this is a guy who was actually there, observed what took place and reported that he had seen the iron in the ground before Peter Bartholomew began brandishing it. Whether Peter somehow salved the dig, or whether he had the diviner's gift for sensing the precious of buried metal. Somebody wrote this interestingly, and knew there was something buried beneath the floor. Whatever it really was, it is impossible to say. In any case, the excitement in the city was intense as the word of the find spread, and even Bishop Adhemar of Lippi and other skeptics kept their doubts to themselves for the moment because of the evident boost in the Crusaders' morale. This was so transformed that on June 28th, following further instructions through Bartholomew by St. Andrew, who got guaranteed victory in another vision, the Crusaders sailed out from Antioch, which is on the coast. They were led by their best soldier, the Norman warrior Bohemond of Taranto, who carried the Holy Lance. With the Holy Lance, carried by Raymond of Aguilera. Desperately weak from hunger, they were in an exalted mood, and some cried out they could see celestial cavalrymen on white horses riding to help them. That's called hallucination, and we experienced that in a bunch of schools we went to. Plenty of hallucinations.
It happens.
At any rate, in berserk frenzy, they set to besieging the Saracens, packing and slaughtering many of them in flight. Now, as I said, this story spans the entire period from the Romans in the Holy Land, in the Levant, and the crucifixion of Jesus, all the way to the First Crusade in this one spear. And this battle was a huge turning point.
The reason it was a big turning point is because they got to keep a foothold in the Holy Land.
Yes.
I believe Antioch was used for a couple hundred years to launch incursion after incursion into.
That is correct. Now, for reference, this is a map of the First Crusades. The purple dots there are, I hit the wrong button, or I'm on the wrong screen. I have to stop touching those things. Touch this thing over here. Now, you can see where we've got the Danube. That's Germany, County of Toulouse. This is France up here. Down here, of course, is Rome. These are the routes the Crusaders took to the Holy Land. Everybody went through Constantinople. Constantinople, at that time, was the Holy Christian Roman Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire.
It was the Eastern?
Yep. Okay. That's the Eastern Roman Empire.
All right. Now, before we get into detail here, when did Islam first start? Was that like
approximately 620 AD? Nobody's sure exactly when, but right around 620.
Now, after Islam was cooked up, they went haywire and went berserk because conquest, slavery, rape, pillage was built into the Islamic religion.
Now, this is my theory based on what I've read. The first guy who started Islam, I believe it was Muhammad. There are varying stories as to whether he was the first one or if he was the only one or if it wasn't him at all. There are a couple of stories out there. Anyway, the guy who got the ball of Islam rolling was trying to preach in some of the cities around what is now Mecca and Medina and the key cities of Islam, right? And they rejected him and laughed at him because his ideas were goofy in the head. So he left the city, he was driven out, and he went up into the mountains, and I believe it was the angel Gabriel who came to him and gave him what is now Islam. And he went out and raised a bunch of the desert tribes and said, I'll tell you what, you can have 72 virgins if you build me an army and we go pillage these cities. And they're like, okay. Yeah. And there is where the confusion in when Islam really started, in my opinion. there was a period of time where they were just a marauding religious zealot army.
But
Then it took hold.
In the First Crusade, they had expanded extensively. And they were actually threatening Christian lands.
Yes. And now there's a bunch of other Islamic incursions that we're not going to go into tonight. We're just focused on the First Crusade, but I'm going to give a good history of where this all began. Now, like any good real war in that part of the world, all of this began around the area of Jerusalem and Judea. Now, in 70 AD, that was the Roman legions. And the Romans came in there and they destroyed the first temple, and there was one of the first Jewish wars. We all know about, well, most people know about Masada. A group of religious zealots, a group of Jewish religious zealots walled themselves in on the top of Masada, which was an impregnable fortress.
Yes.
The Romans, being the Romans, were like, an impregnable fortress. What fun. Let's have a go at it. And they proceeded to lay siege. And this is apparently where the tale of the menorah comes from. The Jews lit light the candles, the 8 candles, the candelabra on their holy days. I believe that's where it comes from. They made a single lamp of oil last for like 8 days.
Which, let's be honest, if you're going to start comparing religions, making oil last 8 days is a lot more believable than a woman getting pregnant without the presence of a penis. I'm just saying.
At any rate, let's not start shit on YouTube just yet.
I'm just saying.
I got you, but let's not get carried away just yet.
I'm just adding some humor here.
That's fine.
This is a dark subject, and we need some humor.
No, it's not. This is an interesting subject. It's just very dry. So the Romans controlled that whole region for frickin' ever. Okay, and Pontius Pilate was the Roman overlord there. I forget the title. At the time, prelate. I think it was a prelate.
Preept or something. Yeah. He's the one that stood up God on a stick.
No, he's not.
Pontius Pilate didn't wash his hands, and then Jesus.
Yeah, he had his guys do it. He wasn't the one who did it himself, though.
Okay. Well, he was in charge. He
gave the order.
And he said,
he gave the order. Now, of note, crucifixion was a Roman thing. It is not a Christian thing. That's a very Roman thing. The Muslims later adapted it themselves.
Well, it was horrific.
It is. It's a terrible way to die. You suffocate. You suffocate. Yeah.
I mean, that's just horrible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get away from the sticks already.
All right.
Okay, so the Bar Kokhba revolt happened under the Emperor Hadrian. Most people know Hadrian from Hadrian's Wall. He was also the emperor who really put the boot to Jerusalem. There's another incident where another Roman emperor named Germanicus, who was the commander of, I believe, the 11th or 12th Legion under Julius Caesar when he waged the Gaul campaigns, which is fascinating reading. It's a totally different story, though. We're not going there today. Anyway, this Emperor Germanicus, who was a beloved general, he is the one who had statues of himself put up in the Jewish temple at Jerusalem and other holy sites, including in Alexandria, which ended up in him being assassinated by his own Praetorian Guard. You know him as Caligula. And he is the most demonized figure of that period. And it follows a pattern later on involving an Austrian artist being demonized as well. The downfall and demonization follow the exact same pattern. I know I read through the whole thing several times. Anyway, Caligula also gave them a load of shit in Jerusalem. Now, after Jerusalem fell to the Romans, that's when they named it Syria Palestia, the northern area that was Judea. Those people are the Judeans, not specifically the Jews.
Is that Syria today?
That is Palestine today.
Okay.
The kingdom of Syria extended into there in the north. Below that was actually, map a thing over here. Map. See where Antioch and Edessa are?
Uh-huh.
That northern area there, this would have been Syria. Here's Tigris. That's Iraq over there.
Yes.
And
Yeah, my guys had some scuffles on the border with Syria while in Iraq before.
Yeah. Yeah. And then down below there is Jordan. And then there's Jerusalem there. So that would have been part of Syria. So they renamed it Syria, Palestine. It became Palestine eventually. I got the position of the Euphrates wrong, by the way. The Euphrates is closer to Iraq. But that basin there between the Euphrates and the Tigris, that's a critical area.
Oh, yeah. There's all kinds of agriculture in that
Yeah,
area.
that's a massively critical area. At any rate, during that period from 135 AD through the 4th century, that's when the Romans controlled that whole region. So hundreds of years it's under Roman control.
And it was a total bloodbath the entire time.
Not the entire time. A lot of the time. I would say that there were always conflicts in the region.
There was like every 15 to 20 years, there was always a revolt, a revolution, some kind of civil strife.
Yeah.
And the Romans put them down hard.
Yeah, but that was the way it was done in those times.
It was.
Now, here's Spain over here. We know where Spain is. Below there, Morocco down here, of
You
course.
can't see the map.
Oh, that's me because I did that. Spain over here. And then below that is Morocco and Libya and Algeria and Egypt. And this nub right here was Carthage.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. This nub over here. This is Carthage.
And
In what is now Tunisia.
And this is North Africa today,
Mhm.
which is still a hive of scum and villainy, and slavery is legal.
At that time, I've seen slave camps. I've seen slave
I'm talking
markets.
today. The slavery is still in North Africa.
I have seen slave markets in Algeria. And the guys we were with, like, no. We're like, that's the slave market. They're like, no. Kept going.
Yep.
We were driving through an area in Algeria, and we saw them, and we were like, hey. So, yeah, I don't want to hear anything about slavery from anybody here in the U.S. It's still going on in Africa. Sort your own mess out first. Here's something that if you read history, and I've mentioned this before, the entire Mediterranean was at that time, in the time of Christ and before that, the coasts were basically all white Mediterranean stock.
Yes.
So
And it
the
was
Levant,
controlled by Rome.
yes.
Mhm.
And the Egyptians, there are white-skinned, red-haired Egyptian mummies. And if you go look at museums, you see them. And in Turkey, that's where the city of Troy was, that was also white. If you read Homer or Virgil, they talk about it. At any rate, that's why you've got all of these groups in the Levant area. That's what's going on when you hear about the Muslims doing their incursions into that area. And here's a better shot of, let's see if I can get this to.
Doing some stuff.
I am doing some stuff.
Getting it working.
I'm trying to get it so we can see the area better. Now you can see the Seljuk Empire. Okay. That was the Turks. There's Mosul. That's Iraq over here on the upper right-hand corner. And then Syria, Jerusalem in 1099. These are the battle maps. But that entire area, after Rome accepted Christianity, was basically the seat of Christianity. And that's where a lot of Latins and Europeans started to move to. Now, historically, there were 4 great Latin states. And everybody says that, they really only existed after the First Crusade. Well, those people are always there. Those 4 states were formed during the First Crusade to protect them. That's why the Crusades came. Because all of that previous settlement was being wiped out. So, where are we here? The Byzantine Empire, the Empire of Constantine, the Eastern Roman Empire, became more and more decadent. Basically, by the late 5th century, Rome had fallen in 472. Rome's gone. So the Roman Empire that we think of no longer is there.
It was split in two.
It was split in two.
Yep.
And the Eastern Roman Empire, based in Constantinople, which is now Istanbul. There's a really bad 80s song about that. Don't anybody start singing that. It's crap. I hate that song. At any rate, Constantinople was the seat of the Eastern Roman Empire, and they still controlled the entire region of the Levant.
And I believe Constantinople was sieged many times over a 400 or 500 year time frame.
It didn't fall until the 15th century, though. It did not fall until the 15th century. At any rate, the thing is, the Byzantines took over the Levant after the Roman Empire fell. In 451 AD, the Council of Chalcedon in Jerusalem was elevated to the state of a patriarchate, which means that it was officially now a proper Roman state and had a vote in the Senate and all of that good stuff.
In the Byzantine Empire.
Yes.
Okay.
But then in the 6th century, that's when things got nasty with the Persians, and the Persians are their whole own thing. There's Darius and Xerxes and all of the other kings that came along, but they were the ones giving Constantinople a lot of shit through the region of what is now Western Turkey.
Okay. And
that lessened the Byzantine power. So along come the Muslims in 636 AD. The Rashidun Caliphate defeats the Byzantines at the Battle of Yarmouk, which is basically the tipping point. Where that is and everything is really not that relevant. What you need to know about 636 AD is that's when the scale began to tip and Islam began to take over that part of the world, and the Roman Empire started to go. Now, the Roman Empire would hang on until the 1400s, but nowhere near as powerful as it was, and it would lose all of the Levant and the parts of the Middle East in Syria that they held. And then, of course, most of what is now Turkey would start to go. Constantinople is far west in what is now Turkey. So, let's see here, 638, not 2 years later, Caliph Umar accepts the surrender of Jerusalem, and the city becomes part of the Islamic Caliphate.
All right, hang on a minute. Hang on.
Yep.
Let's explain exactly what an Islam Caliphate is.
It is basically a kingdom, and you would have a caliph, which is essentially a king for them. Yes.
So it was basically a giant tribe.
Mm-hmm.
You had the one guy running it.
Right.
And then if he had multiple sons,
Mm-hmm.
they would actually kill each other until there was one left that would take over.
I don't know about all that for certain. I'd have to research that. It is a separate
but
fratricidal rabbit hole.
Here's the thing that destroys Islam is the very fact that they depend on the caliphate. It always evolves down to that. And those are easily for the most part, taken apart.
They do rely on caliphates. That is a known fact. So now they've got control of Jerusalem. That caliph is assassinated, and what's called the Umayyad Caliphate, which is based out of Damascus, Syria, takes control. Now Syria has fallen to the Muslims. If you go back, like I said, and read the early Greek histories, like Polybius or Homer or Virgil, you'll find that Syria, most of Syria, Western Syria, was white. Was basically Latin Europeans. But now the Islamists, the Muslims, have taken it over, and they bring with them the desert tribes from the Middle East and the Saudi Arabian regions.
Yep.
So in 691, the Dome of the Rock is completed under Caliph Abd al-Malik. And the Dome of the Rock is their holiest site in Jerusalem. and it's built on top of one of the oldest churches in Jerusalem, which is
Right.
built on top of a Jewish temple in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
You can see that there's all kinds of shit going on here.
Here's the thing.
Everybody's, yeah.
All right.
The Muslims, I just want to say this real quick first. The Muslims have no legitimate claim at all to Jerusalem. They don't.
All right. Well, they did win it in conquest. So
Okay, I'll give you that one.
So if you win something by conquest, you do have a say in it. I'm just gonna. That's how humans work.
Hey, ain't nobody birthed no babies there. Okay.
All right. I don't know, man.
We're arguing for the sake of the discussion.
Okay, but here's the thing.
You're a dick. What?
We're fighting over this fucking holy land that has literally been fought over since the fucking beginning.
Yes. It is the most contested region in the Western world.
Like that one part in the Kingdom of Heaven where he threatens to destroy the entire city, every stone, every structure, and what's his name? The Islamic general
Saladin.
Saladin says, "I wonder if it would be better if that happened." I'm sick and tired of waging wars over this piece of fucking dirt.
Well, there's no reason for us to be waging wars over it.
Correct.
If they want to fight over that, that's great. Have a good time.
But the thing is they're taking our blood and treasure.
Yes.
For the privilege of living in the Holy Land. I'm sick and tired of it. I really am.
Yeah, it's annoying. It is annoying. So the early Islamic period starts in that part of the world right around 636 AD. That's when it really begins.
And by 700 AD, they were going full ball.
By 700 AD, the administrative center for the Caliphate has moved to Baghdad. They've now taken that part of the world. To Baghdad, I think it was Zoroastrian or a prior religion before Islam and Christianity.
Well, Zoroastrianism was there, and then there's another one that was the ISIS wiped them out. I'm trying to remember what the name was called.
Yazidis.
Yeah, they were wiped out.
The Yazidis. Yep, and they were white. I remember seeing all the pictures of these Yazidis. They were straight up white people. They had blonde hair, blue-eyed girls. Blonde hair, blue-eyed, green-eyed.
In Kirkuk, that was very common. I mean, there was blonde hair was pretty common, red hair.
Those are the remnants of the original peoples. I very briefly dated a girl from the city of Accra, which is right in here.
Where I can't.
I'm sorry. There. See my mouse now?
No.
There's the city. There's 3 cities there: Sidon, Tyre, and Accra. And she said her family had just always been there, like historically. Her family went back 1,000 years at least, and she had a mane of gold curls and bright green eyes, and she was absolutely batshit crazy. I dated her. We went out on like 2 dates. That was it. Yeah, and then the crazy alarms went off. I'm like, you're fun, but it's time to go, I think.
I don't need a knife in my back.
Yeah. And it was like just limited to dates too. I never let that get any further because it got weird really fast.
Yeah.
So anyway, now the Caliphates start to do what they do, and it's what you talked about just a couple of minutes ago. They start to fragment. In the 9th and 10th centuries, the Abbasid authority weakens and local governors and dynasties start to gain autonomy. Now, the Egyptians had a group called the Tulunids. They controlled Palestine and Syria at the time. And then the Fatimid Caliphate, which was based in Cairo, they invaded, overran the Tulunids, and took over Jerusalem and most of the Levant.
And if I recall, they actually held Egypt for hundreds of years until Napoleon destroyed them.
Already looking at, we'll go that far later, but today we're only looking there. Right now, they've already held the Levant for 320 years.
Yes.
Now, this Fatimid Caliphate, they reach in and they take through Ascalon here all the way up to Tripoli.
Okay.
And where's my mouse? You can see it there, Tripoli, right there. They hold that whole region, and that's where we are in the year 969 AD. All of the original Christian population, all the original Latin population, what's left of the Roman populations, who are now mostly Christian, but I looked this up once. There were something like 47 different religions in the Holy Land at the time of Christ. Everybody thinks it was just Jews. Was absolutely not. It was absolutely not just Jews. There was still the Roman religions. You had the Zoroastrians. You had some of the old religions. You had the Malachians, for lack of a better word. I don't know what else you would call them. But now you've got mostly just Islam, and Islam starts to do what it does, which is slaughter the living shit.
What year did the Pope put out the call?
That's where we're going right now.
Uh-huh.
So on November 27th, Pope Urban issues the call for the first crusade at the Council of Clermont in France. And basically, this is a reaction to him discovering that all of the original Christian communities in the Levant are being wiped out by the Fatimid Caliphate. They've gone in and they're just obliterating 1,000 years of Christianity, which clearly for the Pope,
Genocide.
Urban at the time, yeah, genocide. Who knew? Exactly.
Now, listen, I'm going to be honest.
Yep.
Christians are just as guilty of doing that as well. I mean, Christianity. Oh yeah. We went berserk during the Crusades, and a lot of people.
There was never any specific genocide committed by the Crusades.
Well, when they took over,
there were mass slaughters. There were some mass. That's why we're here today. That's why we're here today. The only group that has engaged in deliberate, calculated, planned, and articulated genocide of the three major religions, the only group that has planned military-based genocides has been Islam.
Well, World War II, there were Christians on the German side, so that happened.
Why do you keep arguing for this?
I'm just saying, we're all evil, hairless monkeys.
Okay, I need you. Yes, okay. But you are conflating a war with a deliberate planned genocide using military forces. They're not the same thing.
Fair enough. Agree to disagree. Okay, move along.
That's fine. Because you had Germans fighting against Germans in World War II. There are plenty of German Americans on the American side.
Yeah.
At any rate, in this case, the Muslims were in fact committing genocide all through the Levant. Pope Urban makes the call on November 27th, 1095, when a bizarre thing happens. In the spring of 1096, this guy who is an itinerant monk from the city of Amiens in France, and he's just a preacher. Amiens is north of Paris by about 200, 300 miles. He's inspired by Pope Urban's call at Clermont. He becomes one of the earliest and most vocal, popular recruiters for the crusade. Now, this guy's just a wandering bum pastor. He's like the street guy. The end is coming! That guy in the corner.
The guy sitting on a box.
That's the one. Yeah. That's Peter.
Repent. Yeah, I got you.
Exactly, that guy.
I've walked by hundreds of those guys in my lifetime.
Yes. Yep. And in different countries, preaching different shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best part, but they're always there. They are always there. They have them in Korea too. So Peter the Hermit, he preached across France and Germany. He drew a lot of crowds. He gave attention for charismatic appeals to piety and urging people's immediate action to liberate Jerusalem. Now, you have to remember that the average person at that time, their only source of news would be announcements by the Lord or the King, or what they hear in church. They didn't really have newspapers. Those newspapers did exist, but nowhere near in the sense that we have them today.
I don't know if they had a printing press back then.
They had handwritten newspapers. I've seen them.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, they had handbills. They would. It was like a page,
Yes.
and it would say so and so at this city, a thing happened, and then there was a flood here, and just little blurbs. But they did exist to a degree, nowhere near what we have today. So anyway, Peter the Hermit gets this wild hair up his ass, and he goes across France and Germany, and finally he starts to raise his own fucking army, and he got an army raised before the Knights and Lords managed to raise the first crusade. So his army mostly consisted of like peasants, poor townsfolk, and a couple of minor knights and adventurers. I'm a 17-year-old kid in France, and I've heard all these tales of knights and everything. All of a sudden, there's this army walking through. Where are you going? Jerusalem. What are you going to do there? We're going to kill the heretic. Well, dude, I'm in. And, adventurers, straight up freaking.
When you're 18 years old, you're living on a farm. Yep. You see how your father and grandfather have lived. And you're like, do I really want to do this until I'm fucking old, or do I want to do something else? And somebody walks up and says, hey, we're going to go to the Holy Land and kick some ass. You're like, okay. You set down your bucket, you pick up the spear, and away you go.
To roll the real geek dice here, this is where all good Dungeons & Dragons adventures start you as a 0-level fighter.
That's right.
And now you've got a quest. So this group of peasants, townfolk, minor knights, and adventurers, Peter the Hermit leads them along with a knight called Walter Sans Avoir, which means the guy who has nothing. Translated roughly as Walter the Penniless, and some other lesser nobles. They began moving east in the spring of 1096, months before the main armies were ever even ready. So they journey through the Rhineland, and some of the bands engaged in violent attacks on little villages and stuff because they don't have any supplies or weapons or anything. So as they're going along, they start raiding.
Well, they also wreaked havoc on Jewish populations along the way as well.
They did go after some of the Jewish populations. Now, as to why, they didn't just randomly attack those. That doesn't make sense.
They needed shit. I mean,
they did that too. They raided, but that's a rabbit hole. That's a rabbit hole because I want to get to the Crusade part of the story here. Yes, those things did happen.
Yeah,
but there's more to it than they just went, oh, look, Jewish people, let's kill them. That's not what happened. Did it happen? Yes, but it requires further context. So anyway, they go through Hungary and the Balkans, and they face a bunch of hardships from lack of supplies and the thing that every army needs, discipline.
Which they probably didn't have.
Didn't have very much discipline. So they get to Constantinople in late July or August of 1096. So it's taken them months to get where they're going, which makes sense. They didn't have trains back then or airlift. Yeah. Yep. Even if they had donkey carts, you're still talking about a top speed of 5 miles an hour.
Yeah. You're
for any period of time.
You're doing between 20 and 50 miles a day. Yeah. If you're on foot, maybe 30 a day.
When I was at my peak, I could ruck 5 miles an hour for a period of time. My normal pace was about 3.5 or 4.
Yeah. And if you walk 10 hours a day, that's 30 miles.
Now, there are stories of, and I'll tell this at a later time, but because it's a really good fucking story, when Julius Caesar chased the German king Ariovistus and his forces back to the Rhine, the motherfuckers both armies ran 30 miles and then had a battle.
Nice.
That's some badass shit. Anyway, Peter the Hermit's army gets to Constantinople, and remember, this is the beginning of the First Crusade, is this ragtag band of misfits led by the corner preacher. So they didn't have any real military leadership or supplies, but they went toward Nicaea anyway, which was across the, let's get back over to here, bring this thing back up. Where is that map? This one here. This is the map we need. Now, see the top red line? Danube, the Belgrade, Sofia, that's Hungary, and all that, Adrianople and Constantinople. And right across that strait right there, right across that strait is Nicaea, and that is modern Turkey. Modern Turkey actually extends over into Constantinople in that area now. But at the time, that was a stronghold of the Seljuks, who were the precursors of the Turks.
Uh-huh.
And they get to Nicaea, and they're like, let's do it. Well,
That's getting slaughtered.
Yeah.
They got murked.
They got the whole army got completely murked, except for Peter, who returns to Constantinople before the disaster strikes and survives. In other words, he ran. But Peter the Hermit later rejoins the first main crusade, but without any independent command of his own. He just goes along as a wandering itinerant holy man. So this guy, a street preacher, raised an army of ne'er-do-wells, rabblers, and adventurers, and fought the first battle of the Crusade. Well, didn't fight the first battle of the Crusade, more provided the shredding material for the first battle of the Crusade.
Yeah, because they got thwarted hard.
Yes. Yeah, the Seljuk Turks just completely destroyed them. There were none of them left. And Peter went back to Constantinople. And I read one of the letters at one point in time. Basically, the content of the letter was Peter saying, well, yeah, they kind of all died. So I came back before it actually happened. So
yeah,
the guy was a dick.
Well, here's the thing.
That's a dick move. He abandoned his forces in the field and let them get mowed down.
Correct. But you're literally taking a ragtag force into somebody's backyard.
Yes.
They know the terrain. They know the environment.
Yes.
And they have been waging war for hundreds of years. And you show up with a bunch of undisciplined rabble-rousers.
Right.
You're going to get your clock cleaned, and that's the way it works.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, it is exactly what happened.
They got their asses kicked.
Yes. So the Romans had control, by the way, of the Levant from 63 BC. And they held it all the way through 476 when the Western Empire fell, and then the Byzantines took it over.
No. When all of Rome fell and it split in half, and the Byzantines took that half over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be correct. That would be correct. Where did my...
All right, let me give the briefing.
Yeah, give the briefing. Give the
all right,
briefing.
everybody. We've been demonetized beyond all rhyme and reason, and this show pulls in roughly 12 to 15% of what it used to during our heyday between 2013 and 2016. Much of our videos are limited monetization, meaning that YouTube runs all the ads they want on them, and we don't get paid jack shit. We're trying to save lives on a shoestring budget. We're up to 569. This Thursday, we're going to read 570 into the record. One at a time, we're getting people out there telling us we kept them from committing the self-deletion stuff. But to keep this thing rolling requires funding, and we operate on a shoestring budget. Any little bit you send in will go a long way. Thank you in advance.
I am going to do a little housekeeping while we're at it. One, the quest for sponsorships and grants goes on. Two, I had a lengthy conversation today with Samantha, and she is incredibly knowledgeable, very well spoken, and basically just like us, but not one of us per se, in the sense that she never put the uniform on. Otherwise, she's mentally a lot like us, which is why she apparently gets along with the crowd. like I said, she's very knowledgeable. She knows about grants and sponsorships, and she's written them. And apparently, she is going to attempt to get us in front of some key people in some key industries because she has access to those things by virtue of what she does for a living without going into too much detail and diming her out on anything. But Sam, I figure you're probably out there listening. Thanks. Good conversation. Very happy that you know all of these things, and it is going to be a tremendous help. We appreciate it. If we can get this off the ground, it would be such a huge force multiplier.
Oh, yeah.
If we can get this going properly.
Now, listen, I have tried to get our nonprofit onto some of the corporate lists because every corporation has a list of nonprofits that they put in front of their workers to send donations to.
Mm-hmm.
And I have literally got nowhere. So
I think it's a case of you and I don't know enough about what we're doing.
That could be it
with that stuff.
We
cannot be experts in all the things.
No, but it also could be the fact that I'm very crass, boorish, and direct when I deal with these subjects. And in my defense, I'm literally swearing at the forces of darkness.
One of the conversations that Sam and I had today is we do what we do. We are unapologetic about it. And here's why. It's for you guys out there listening right now. This isn't for the boardrooms or the CEOs. We're not looking out for them. I don't care about them. They've got their looking out.
Yeah.
Okay. We're looking out for us. We're looking out for our brothers. We're looking out for, we've got a sister in the crowd now, Sam, that don't have anybody to talk to and aren't going to go into a VA shrink.
Nope.
I won't go anywhere near those motherfuckers. Hell no. So that's why we're here. We're here to fill a gap in the line.
We also have Susie McCarley, who's a big supporter as well.
Susie McCarley is a big supporter.
Yeah.
Susie McCarley is a big supporter.
She's been there since the beginning.
Yeah. She has, in fact. I only call Sam out specifically because she has a star on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Susie, do not own a star on the wall. We do not want you to own a star on the wall. We like you how you are. We love you. Don't do that.
Roger that.
Sam, we got your back. Okay. Where were we? Now, this map still applies. The red line below that comes from Toulouse through Rome and Taranto in Italy down there, which sounds like Toronto, but is not. It's Taranto. Now, those guys had the money. These are the actual knights, and they raised their armies, and they were able to take ships. Eventually, they would start sailing their ships from the coast of France down Italy and across the Mediterranean itself, past Greece to the south there. Now, for those of you geographically challenged people like Pop out there, we know Italy looks like a boot, but this to the west here, or to the east rather, this is Greece.
Yes.
And it encompasses all of these islands over here.
The Thousand Islands.
There you go. Yeah. The dressing. Yeah. See? That's Pop's idea of geography. It's the dressing.
It works.
Okay. That's fair. So anyway, you go over here. There's this big island over here. This is Cyprus. And I've met a couple of Cypriots. They're actually really nice people. And it's off the coast of the Levant. And a lot of the Crusaders who have the money will stage off of Cyprus because obviously that's a perfect spot to stage off of. If you have naval vessels, let's do this a little bit, bring it over here. And and you have the money to move ships around. I'm going to take little Cyprus over here, and I'm going to make that my base because it covers this whole stretch of coast. And you're talking about a time when there was no such thing as air superiority.
Nope.
So naval forces meant speed up and down that coast, which was the whole contested region. And it all gave a way to retreat because the Islamists had not yet really figured out sailing in that part of the world. They would. And they would do it very soon. And they would start pirating and basically depopulating all of the coastlines of the northern Mediterranean. All of this here Rome, France, Spain, all the way up into Ireland. The Muslim pirates would take slaves through this entire region.
Yep.
For hundreds of years. That's what the Marine Corps, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli.
Yep.
That's what they're talking about, kids. Is the Islamic slavers, is the Muslim slavers.
And they attacked a
At
bunch
Libya.
of American ships, and the American government was like, fuck
Thousands.
this.
Yep. They took
We're
thousands of
fucking-
American slaves.
Yeah.
Anyway, no shit, there we were, hip deep in Seljuk caps. So this whole region becomes contested after the People's Army gets slaughtered at Antioch. The real crusade begins, and it's led by Godfrey of Bouillon, among some others. Godfrey of Bouillon is the Duke of the Lower Lorraine, which is present-day Belgium. He is a vassal of the Holy Roman Empire, and he sold or mortgaged parts of his lands to raise funds for the Crusades. Like I said, these are the guys who actually have the money to hire real knights, professional soldiers. And back in the day, lords would raise companies. And these companies of soldiers, the lords would pay them to do a specific thing, but then sometimes they would just leave them in a place. And these companies would wander around as trained armed men and not being paid and just decide to loot shit.
Yes. Because who's going to stop?
Yes. Who's going to stop them except maybe another company?
Mm-hmm.
And they've got to eat and they got to get paid. So they just start looting because they don't have a lord. But this crusade gave the lords, especially the big lords, the dukes and the kings, something to do with these companies. Hey, let's get them all together. Let's build an army and let's send these fuckers to the Levant and let them do their thing down there. Just cut them loose down there to be fine.
Well, and another thing with the First Crusade, or after the First Crusade, when actual trained individuals went down there, I believe the Pope was putting out that you could go down there and retake the Holy Land and all of your sins would be forgiven, and you could even, like, ransom people back from hell and all kinds of crazy.
Europe at the time, everybody takes a very cynical view of that, but Europe at the time was a very Christian place. They took a lot of that stuff very seriously. And yes, some of it was cynical. And yes, some of it was money oriented. But there is so much. I can actually cancel. I don't want to leave site. I want to do this. I want to come over here. Hang on.
But that's how they raised.
Will all make sense in just a minute. Okay. So yes, you are correct. But this is from the 11th century. Okay. This is what I do for fun. This is what I do for fun. This is one of my bookmarks on my tab. Let's see if I can enlarge it. It doesn't want to enlarge. At any rate, this is one of my many, many bookmarks for, here's one of my favorites, actually. Let's see if I can get that one to come up. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. I read this shit for fun. This is actually one of my bookmarks that I have, and all of the information that I get on the conditions of Europe at the time and the conditions of Christianity at the time, I'm getting right from the horse's mouth.
Yes. Because a lot of the stuff you read in modern history books has been...
It's skewed.
It's skewed. It's been written, rewritten, retranslated. Yeah. And if you get it directly from the old original text, it tells a whole different story.
One of the conversations Pop and I were having at the beginning before we started the show is when we go into this and we listen to these things, we look at these things, we have to remember not to look at them through our eyes.
Modern eyes.
Modern eyes. You have to look at them through the eyes of the time. Like the issue of slavery. Okay, it's bad. I don't like the idea of slavery. I don't know anybody who does. But at the slaves were the gardeners, the farmers, the teachers. There are multiple cases of well-known historians who were actually slaves in the employ of emperors of Rome who taught their children.
Yeah.
And the royal families counted on these slaves to educate their children correctly in all of the histories, traditions, and customs. So it wasn't just they were tools, basically.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Islam
Mhm.
actually has parts of it that condone and actually
Specifically written into their texts. That is my understanding.
where it's
That
not
is
in, that is not in the Torah or the Bible.
Not in that form, no. But again, it was a cultural norm at that time. It was just there. They didn't need to write about it. It was just normal.
Yeah.
It was just normal. And only the wealthy had slaves. You didn't encounter like Joe Blow the farmer having slaves. People could actually sell themselves into slavery, which is called indenture, for a period of time. And little known thing is a lot of the gladiators were actually indentured.
Yes, they were.
They had a debt, and they worked it off in the arena and hoped they didn't die in the process.
Well, one of the greatest, I don't remember his name, but one of the greatest gladiators during the Roman era was indentured because he had a gambling problem.
Yes. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't recall his name either. Another myth about
he fucking went berserk in that goddamn arena and won his fucking freedom.
one of the things that is a myth, a Hollywood myth, is that all of these gladiators died in the arena. Yes, it happened. Of course it happened.
No.
But remember, these gladiators are somebody's meal ticket.
Yeah.
They don't want to kill them all off. You don't kill your fucking meal ticket, dude.
Well, first
They'd
of
get
all,
fucked up. Some of them would die, but normally it would be a fight to
a wound.
a wound or to a surrender or to a condition.
Correct.
So anyway, Godfrey of Bouillon was the first. What?
Rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole. We went right down the fucking rabbit hole. Now, the first Crusades, the real Crusades, not the People's Crusades, where some weird itinerant merchant freaking preacher left guys to die.
The good idea fairy.
The good idea fairy. The first Crusade also went through Constantinople. That call from Pope Urban caused Godfrey of Bouillon to raise an army, went down through Constantinople, and as they got there, they swore an oath to the Holy Roman Emperor, who was Alexios at the time.
Yes.
Promising to return captured former Byzantine lands, which the Turks across the way, let's go back to the map over here. Like I said, you've got Constantinople, it's still Holy Roman Empire. Across that strait, these were all Roman lands. Nicaea and Dorleon and all of that, those were Roman lands. They're not anymore. Now the Muslims have them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they get to Nicaea, and they took part in Godfrey of Bouillon took part in the siege alongside other crusaders, and the city was surrendered to the Byzantines. So Godfrey of Bouillon has now fulfilled his vow to Emperor Alexios. They moved on to the city of Dorleon, and he fought in the vanguard, and he helped to repel the Turkish attacks. They continued the march south to Anatolia and into Syria and participated in the long siege of Antioch. That went from October of 1097 to June of 1098. Now, I don't know how many of you understand what's really involved in a siege, but October, November, December, January, February, March, April. See where I'm going here?
Yeah.
These guys camped outside the city of Antioch for 9 months.
That's gotta suck.
Meanwhile, inside the city, they better have wells that are dug into the city itself. They better have a way to defend those wells so that you can't throw dead animals over the wall into the well, which was an early form of chemical warfare.
Biological warfare.
Biological warfare, thank you. And you had better have a year's food supply
for the entire city.
Because they would start eating parts of leather uniforms. And of course, they would get into the long. Gone. They would get into the long pig after a little while.
Yeah, listen, horse is actually
people still eat horse in France, in parts of France.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, I myself didn't really care for it, but some people like it. People even eat dogs in the Orient, which I find reprehensible, but they do it. Good bogey.
Stories that we don't want to tell tonight. So anyway, Godfrey Bullion then marched with the Crusader army through Syria and Palestine and assisted in securing supplies and routes. They would do this through raiding. They would go through and they would form basically what would amount to a battalion. That battalion would break off from the main column and see that village over there a mile away, bring us everything. And they would go into that village and just take everything.
It's called foraging.
And bring it back to the train. That's how armies resupplied back then. You had baggage trains. You had some logistics to a degree. But let's put the map back up. They didn't have C5s to do Lapes drops for supplies.
Yeah, there was no C-130 dropping pallets of food and water from the sky. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
You wanted that shit, you made it happen.
Yes, you had to forage along the way. Now, one of the battle techniques that developed during this period, and the Russians excel at this, is scorched earth. Scorched earth does not refer to the aggressing army. Scorched earth refers to, hey, we got a button-pushing monkey who's got a Crusader skeleton. Yeah. Nice, Jimmy. I like that. Scorched earth refers to the defending army burning everything in front of the oncoming aggressor army and leaving them nothing
but ashes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the aggressing army, like I said, who had no logistics at that time, has nothing to go with, and they'll wither away.
Yeah, and this is like during our Civil War in 1860s, we did the same thing, and so did the South.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, when you hear that term "scorched earth," it doesn't mean that the army is going through and burning everything to the ground. Although they did that in Atlanta, which pisses Southerners off. Don't start that conversation with a Southerner; it will get ugly. Usually it was the defending army who would use scorched earth techniques. So Godfrey of Bouillon is marching with the Crusader army. They get through Syria and Palestine, and he actively commanded troops in the final assault of Jerusalem in 1099. Now, that happened on the 15th of July. They breached the walls and entered the city. That's a fascinating battle to read. When the first breach of Jerusalem in 1099 happened. Jerusalem was a huge sprawling city, had huge sections, and they had whole sections of the city. It was like a jigsaw fortress.
I believe.
They could close off portions and then open another portion on the backside of that closed off portion to get into a different portion where they could close that off. And it was like a big freaking, because this city is thousands of years old at this point.
Yeah. If my memory serves correct, I believe they actually had somebody on the inside allow people in.
That happens all the time. That happened at the city of Cordoba. We won't go into that because everybody will get angry because I'm talking about people in small hats.
Yes.
That's documented, by the way. Anyway, he actively commanded troops in the final assault. This is Godfrey of Bouillon, the Duke from the Lower Lorraine, which is now present-day Belgium, to remind you of what's going on. Then, the reason Godfrey of Bouillon is important here, when they took Jerusalem, he became the commander for the Crusader forces who defeated the Egyptian relief army near Ascalon, which is down below Jerusalem. It's not on this map, but it's down below Jerusalem. And that basically shut down Muslim advance for that time. Now, everybody's like, oh, they just went in there and just killed all those poor Muslims. No, the Muslims had gone in 300 years prior, and then that Egyptian Muslim army, the Fatimids, they decided they were going to kill all of the Christians and just take the area completely.
And they did.
That triggered the Crusades. It was a defensive war because those Christians had been there since the time of Christ.
Yeah.
The Muslims showed up around 620 AD, 600 years after the fact, and started killing that because they wanted that territory.
Yes.
And they'll tell you that, but then they'll claim that it was all theirs to begin with anyway.
Well, they did win it in battle, so they do.
They did win it in battle. Conquest is a human thing. We are evil, hairless monkeys. We kill shit.
Yes.
We get carried away with that. So Godfrey of Bouillon governed the new Crusader state, which was the Kingdom of Jerusalem, until his death in July of 1100, which gives us the establishment of what is called the Latin kingdoms. There are 5 of them. There's the Kingdom of Jerusalem. There's the County of Edessa. There is, you can see Edessa, it's up above Antioch.
The map isn't showing.
Over here, I'm reaching for the map button.
Okay.
Edessa is to the northeast of Antioch there. The Principality of Antioch, of course. The County of Tripoli, which is about a quarter of the way south from Antioch on the coast as you head toward Jerusalem. Okay, I'm sorry, there are 4 Latin kingdoms. They're established between 1098 and 1109. Edessa is the first one to fall. Then Jerusalem falls, and the capital is moved to Acre, which is about halfway north between Jerusalem and Antioch. I actually have a map of that. Why am I not using
Pull it
the
up,
map?
you sons of bitches.
It's the map, you sons of bitches.
Use your goddamn map, you motherfucking son of a bitch.
Okay. Now we can see. There, you can see Ascalon 1099. There's that battle where they beat the Fatimids.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I've watched, if there's some channels on YouTube where they actually show the armies maneuvering and casualties. And
there's a really good one. I can't remember his name anymore, but there's a really, really good one. I'll try to find that guy.
Because I'm a battle geek. I watch all that shit all the time. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so do I. So they fall back to Acre, which is north of Jerusalem on the coast. And that is one of the major strongholds. But then Antioch falls, and then Tripoli falls. Now Acre is isolated. And finally, in 1291, it took them 300 years, basically, 200 years, to bring Acre down. And the Kingdom of Jerusalem and all of the Latin states are ended.
The reason it took the Muslims that long is we decimated their armies. We outmaneuvered them. We outfought them. We wreaked absolute havoc. And it would take 20, 40 years to the population to come back, and then they would assemble another army to get decimated yet again.
Here's the other side of that story. Once that happened, the Latin kingdoms, the people who lived there originally, many of them fled back to Europe. Many of them were from places like Norway. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know that a lot of the people who were living there were from up in Europe who wanted to live in the Holy Land because it was the Holy Land. And these kingdoms were full, flourishing kingdoms full of families and peoples and everything that goes with the culture. They had all of that stuff, but when the wars started to come, a lot of them fled. And then after that, between 1099 and 1291, when all of this came to pieces, what happened was the lords in Europe no longer had the money because wars cost money.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get supplies in there, whereas the Muslims were already there.
Yeah.
Yes. So the Muslims simply fought that easiest of battles, the battle of attrition, where you are indigenous to the area, you know the area, you have all of your supplies in the area, and the enemy you're fighting has no way to resupply and does not know the area. That's a bad battle to be on the bad end of, because the opponent who has the ground can just weight you to death.
Yep.
And pick at you until you can't get any resupplies in. And then after a point, you'll lose enough ground where you don't have anywhere to put those resupplies. Now they can't land ships at Tripoli. Now they can't land ships at Tyre. They can't land ships at Tortosa. And they can't land ships at Accra. The only place they can land ships is
if
or at Antioch. Yeah.
Decided to get scorched earth and do the genocide thing, it would have been a whole other animal.
Yes.
Which they could have done, but they didn't.
Yes.
They could have went in there and just wiped out all of the indigenous population so they didn't have to worry about that, but they didn't do that.
Why they didn't is not recorded. I personally believe it's because the European states were starting to come out of the medieval period and into the Renaissance period. We're talking 1291. Enlightenment is over the horizon. The money started to shift. They weren't as interested in those wars in the Holy Land anymore.
When was the Black Death?
They were building, that was
1350-ish?
1312, 1341, somewhere in there. But hang on. I want to prove a point here. Okay, so the Holy Land started to become less important, and here's why. When was Notre Dame first started?
The Notre Dame Cathedral? I don't know.
1163.
Ah, okay.
Europe started to have its own Christian Enlightenment, which means it doesn't need the Holy Land. The people don't need to go to Jerusalem except on a pilgrimage. They've got their own Christianity budding up, all of these magnificent cathedrals, starting with Notre Dame in 1163 when the Gothic architecture starts to kick in.
Yeah.
Like any war, the people become fatigued and the rulers run out of money.
Yeah.
And that was the end of the Latin kingdoms. Now, the first one, of course, was Jerusalem when it was captured by Godfrey of Bouillon. Baldwin I was crowned the king of Jerusalem in 1100, and he was defeated at the Battle of Hattin, and that's when Jerusalem fell to Saladin, and that is portrayed in Kingdom of Heaven.
Correct.
Baldwin I, also known as Baldwin the Leper. He had leprosy. That's what the mask and the gloves were all about in the movie.
That's a horrible way to go.
Yeah. The kingdom survived as a coastal state until 1291. It fell in 1100, or it fell in 1187. But it hung on until 1291. That's 110 years. Okay? And it survived as a coastal state, but with its capital at Accra. And again, Accra, Jerusalem, way down over here by the Dead Sea. Yeah. Accra is way the F up here.
Yeah.
So the kingdom of Jerusalem basically included Jaffa, Ramia, Accra, Ibelin, that whole region right there. So it held on for quite a while. Why is my Chrome is not responding? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, because my browser is doing bizarre shit right now. I will keep talking. Yeah, it's behaving badly. Browser's behaving badly.
Murphy.
Let's see what happens if I try to kill that there.
Somebody's going to get fucked up.
Whoa!
What? Uh-oh. I think we lost Steve. Did we lose Steve?
I think so. He went full Walt Disney on us.
All right. Let's he'll be back. So anyway, if you watch The Kingdom of Heaven, you can see the fact that that's not a fact. It is a Hollywood production, but the whole Crusades was a huge muscle moving. And in my opinion, it was the beginning of our knowledge of how to wage effective modern warfare. Because they had the ships, they learned how to recruit the men. They actually took steps to work on the logistics. And you saw a lot of that later on after the Byzantine Empire fell. And then you only had the Holy Roman Empire, which, is where the Catholicism basically started.
90 seconds.
Oh, what happened?
My browser just went and died.
Okay.
My browser just died. Fortunately, all of my notes have nothing to do with my browser, so all we've lost is the maps for the moment. I won't try to bring that up. Battle Dwarf's wife didn't.
What I was bringing up is the
Don't give
fact
her
that
any ideas.
the Crusades actually build a basis of knowledge on how to work on logistics, on how to mobilize armies, how to equip on mass scales. Because after the Crusades, the warfare in Europe really was on steroids.
Yes.
It literally turned into a huge...
That was, and the books that I showed you, my bookmarks, there are texts on exactly that.
Correct.
There are texts on lessons learned from those wars. So I described the Kingdom of Jerusalem falling. I'll briefly go into the county of Edessa and then the other two real quick, and then we could probably get to the super chats, because I've covered what I want to cover, the whole First Crusade, all the way from the time of Christ and the Romans through Godfrey of Bouillon and the establishment of the Latin kingdoms. What I wanted people to see is the progression, how it really happened, and how Christianity held that area until 632 when the Muslims started to show up, but the Christians were still there, which is what drew the Crusader armies by the call of Pope Urban in 1095. He's like, Jerusalem's got, all of our people are down there. Can we go get them, please? And then you've got corner box preacher guys raising armies. So anyway, the county of Edessa was founded by Baldwin, a different Baldwin of Bouillon, and it was captured by Zengi of Mosul. So the Iraqis have entered the game in 1144. The remaining territories were eventually lost over the next 6 years, and then the county of Edessa ceases to exist. That was that region to the east of Antioch by Turkey. The Principality of Antioch itself, where the People's Army was butchered in 1097, that was founded in 1098 after it was captured by Godfrey of Bouillon. And the period of regencies, it had kingdoms through 1130 through the 1160s. Then it was finally captured in 1268, 100 years later, by Sultan Baybars. And that whole principality was destroyed.
What year
that was one
Richard
of the Turks.
Lionheart there in the Holy Land?
When was Richard the Lionheart there?
I believe he was in the third Crusade.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
I am bringing that up right now. I am not a robot.
We're
Mountains
not
or hills. Why is Google giving me shit?
Fuck them.
Mountains or hills? Okay, here we go. He was there from 1190 to 1192, which would have been the third crusade, in an attempt to take Jerusalem back from Saladin. He fought at Acre, the Battle of Arsuf, and the Battle of Jaffa. They did not capture Jerusalem.
No, they did not.
Yep. So that is a full 100 years after the First Crusade. So Antioch fell in 1268. It hung on for almost 160 years. And then Tripoli, which was halfway between Antioch and Jerusalem on the map. Tripoli was about a third of the way down from Antioch on the way to Jerusalem. 1102 to 1109 was conquered and established by Raymond of Toulouse, and various successors survived Saladin's attacks, but was weakened badly. But then it was finally captured in 1289. So it survived almost 200 years when the Turks finally took that one. And that was the last of the Latin kingdoms. And that's when Islam pretty much took over the Middle East. And that story, so much more history that we can pull into this. It's an almost infinite supply.
But just think about all of the pain, misery, and death that took place around the Holy Land.
Actually,
even to this day, it is absolutely just mind-bendingly stupid, in my opinion.
Yeah. Let me show you, and I have all of my notes for this. We'll add this to the stage. I think I can get that out of the way. This is the notes for today's show. First Crusades, all of the key players, timeline starting points. Here's the Western Roman Empire over here on this side. This is Roman period, Byzantine period, Persian conquest, early Islamic period, fragmentation of regional dynasties, all of the key players from the Byzantine Empire right there.
Yeah.
So if you want the notes for this, I would be happy to send them to you. What this was Crusades Origin Story 101, a primer. This is by no means the comprehensive history of the First Crusade.
There's whole PhDs that
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Shit.
Exactly. I have been reading on this for 3 decades at this point, and I still don't know everything. But this is a good primer. This is all of the notes that I have here show you where to start looking if you're interested in something like this, and will clear up a lot of misconceptions on the timeline, what happened when, who was involved. A lot of people don't even know that the Iraqi Caliphates were involved in the Crusades.
Towards the
but
end.
They were, in fact, yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, is you have to remember, people are turning us into villains because of the Crusades. And we were just reacting to something that was already happening down there.
Pope Urban put out a call to go rescue the Christians who were in the Holy Land, who had been there since the time of Christ.
And they were getting slaughtered. Someone's gonna die.
Someone's gonna die. So I hope this was informative. Throw questions at me. Ask for the notes as you like. I'd be happy to provide them all. If you want the scripts that I showed you from where'd that go? I'll bring that back up. Nope, cancel. Don't do that. I almost left the studio again. That would have been silly of me.
Well, these things happen.
I am aware. Present night. Stop that screen. Share screen. That there. This stuff. I can send you the links to this. A lot of what I'm looking at here is those particular battles and books.
Yeah.
This is from that time period. So I can send you those links too. Yeah. And I spent 2 years recently learning I can write like this now.
I've seen you do it.
I spent the last 2 years learning how to do that shit. So,
well, everyone's got to have a hobby. I get it.
Everybody's got to have a hobby. Yeah.
I like the boomstick hobby.
That's fine. That's fine. That's good. So,
all right, Jimmy. Time to start the super chats.
That sounds good. Let's see. Are we feeling funky tonight? Or are we feeling more of a
ruh-roh?
I don't know.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling a little funky.
All right.
That's right, baby. You know what time it is. It's super chat time. Time to get super funky.
All right.
And also, don't forget, ladies and germs, that next month, live here on Grunt Speak Live, we're going to have ourselves the Fat Punisher Presley. We're going to have DJ Disco Dwarf, and we're going to have Evil Shaggy in the house.
We're also going to have Space Ghost.
Oh yeah, Space Ghost is
The rest of the costume arrived. Blake, you are not escaping the wrath of the regiment.
Oh yeah.
It is a nut hugger.
Phrasing.
No. Ah.
All right, let's see.
Life is good. Life is good. Carry on.
Over here on the YouTube side, we got 386 concurrent viewers, 284 likes. Let's get that to 316. Redonkulas 316. Come on, guys. Oh, excuse me. And the first one comes from Mustanger65. He's getting one of these because he's dropping $100 on us right now. Where's it at? There it is.
Thanks for your continued support.
All right.
And he is demanding to resupply the bourbon.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Assassin of the Gray with $25 says, First Sergeant in Kirkuk, on patrol, we came across a blue-eyed, red-headed boy. We stopped, got out and asked where his parents were, thinking they were missionaries. Chaco Latte Metza, holy hell, a challenging.
Listen, I've seen a lot of those people up in Kirkuk, and some of those women were hot. Just saying.
There you go. Hey, Pete's in the chat here. He's dropping $19.99. He said, "Bullshit, Steve. You ain't walking that fast. Your legs are too damn short."
I could back in the day. Dwarves are natural sprinters. I could back in the day.
Yeah.
Now,
so we got homeschool time with $2 says like button. What is that? It's the thing that you push that has a little thumbs up on it. Because if you don't push that button, dire consequences will ensue.
All right.
Yeah, let's see. We've got Goat Milk here with $10 Canadian. It says, give us Russian pop, please, and try goat milk, fellows. Helps the body heal, especially you alcoholics. Love ya, no diddy.
Not a fan of goat milk myself, but I've had it before. It's okay.
I've heard it makes good soap. Let's see. We got Mario Trujillo here with $10. Says, more history from the Battle Dwarf. Maybe next time talk about how the Comanche first had an ally with a Spanish settler to fight off the Apache for 30 years, then betray them after the Louisiana Purchase.
Oh, I saw that one. You know what? That is not a segment of history that I spend a lot of time on because there's so much history to study out there. Mm-hmm. But I know that it's a fascinating story. Maybe that will force me to read it, but that will put that story out a couple of months because I'll need to research it.
Fair enough.
But that's a good one. That's a good one. I know of it. I just don't know any of the history myself.
So let us know in the chat if you guys like the history stuff.
Hell yeah.
Grunt history speak.
Yeah, FMF veteran here with $10 says, for the cause. Thank you, sir. And last one here on YouTube, we got H12, $5. He's giving us a dancing pear.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you for the sticker. Yep. H12 again, another dancing pear for us. Thank you, sir.
Hey, it's a pair of pears.
All right.
It's getting weird.
Yeah. All righty.
But that's fine.
Yep. Let's see. How's Rumble doing?
I don't know.
All right.
You disappoint me, Rumble. 409 viewers.
Yeah.
409 viewers, 157 likes.
Come on now.
That's good. No, that isn't half. Never mind. I'll shut up.
Sounds good. All right, we got Susan McCarley here. First one over here says skids to a stop, straightened her Wimple and Ermy train like Goldie Hawn at the barbecue in Protocol. Ren fair today, guys.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we have the Renaissance Festival up here in Michigan. I think it's kicking off here shortly.
Jen and I went the week before last. It's been on since the last week of August, and the last weekend is this coming weekend.
Oh, wow. They started early. Okay.
Yeah. Tessa was managing one of the shops there, and she didn't recognize us at all.
Yeah, the hell with her.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Moving on, here we got Batches here with $5. Says, yes! So glad we're going over history. We should learn and understand history so that we know what to watch for and how to prepare and defend.
Because we're evil, hairless monkeys.
Yes.
We forget our history and we repeat it.
Yes.
We're stupid.
Yeah. Again, this was a primer. This was 101, origin stories, just so you've got a place to start with all of this and some real serious information.
There you go. And we got Mando coming in, says, Pop, I hate to ask this, but isn't a 5% grade a steep learning curve for you?
Pretty much. My memory is shit, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
That is quite the learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
And Mando again says, to be fair, Dwarf, going from anywhere to Fort Irwin is going to a wasteland, kind of like when Pop enjoys a sand veg taco with period blood salsa with pink drizzle. There it is.
Well, I got to add the food in there, man. That's
well played.
That's not creme fraiche on that taco, man. Don't eat it.
Oh no.
Let's see. We got Reynard69 says Islam is pre-modern Scientology. It was a bunch of Arabians who converted to Judaism while living in Syria and then made up a mythology about a prophet and two holy cities 200 years after the fact.
Again, I would have to research that, but I have heard that as well.
Yeah, there's all kinds of rumors and the origin and who did what. It's crazy.
No. Yeah. All I'm saying is if your religion forbids you to eat pork or beef, I don't trust you.
Mm.
Yeah, you make a good point. Or enjoy beer.
Or beer. Yeah. Let's see. A Flano7 here for $5 says, if you want some spicy history, I recommend Asha Logos and Zoomer Historian.
Never heard of them.
Those are YouTube channels. I have seen them in passing. I think I have watched some Asha Logos.
There you go. And Tomahawk here 5 says, every time I hear Antioch, all I can think is the holy hand grenade.
Bring out the holy hand grenade.
Yep.
Thou shalt kill, pull the pin, and then count to 5.
Count ye to 3. Do not count to 4. 5 is
1,
right out.
2, 4, 3. Great movie. Great movie. International Hustle Whoop-Ass coming in says, I heard rumors or stories saying that Muhammad was really a ginger, and that's why most people say he had rosy skin. Back then, I don't believe they had that complexion as well as his feet.
I don't know, man.
I don't have any speculation on that.
Yeah.
All I got to say is if you interpret the Prophet Muhammad, they tend to get a little angry.
Yeah, they get a little shooty.
Yeah. Constantine 1987 here says, my mother's family, Varygians, hail from the Pontic region of Old Trebizond. The amount of family history I have is staggering. There is a lot of hate for the Turks for good reason as well.
Yeah, the Turks did some fucked up shit, man. They crucified and murdered 500,000.
They used the Hagia Sophia as a horse stable. Mm-hmm. One of the most beautiful churches ever built was first used as a horse stable, then converted to a mosque.
Should have made it a pig pen. Let's see. Halbert 86 here says, I love history. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Batch is coming back, says, Battle Dwarf, I enjoyed the conversation. Also, I'm looking forward to continuing to work on this to help you guys help others.
Well,
thanks,
thank you.
Thank you. And Susan McCarthy coming in says, I'm fine with that.
Thank you.
All right, let's see here. Here. Alley Card jumping in. Don't worry, Pop. It's not a full screen moment.
All right, thank you.
Pop, your dogman girlfriend called. she's having a litter and she wants Pop to sing. Congrats. You are the father.
Oh, great.
Oh, good.
Well, at least we know that the offspring will have very vocal talents.
Oh my God.
There you go. The Dogman girlfriend can have her own barbershop quartet from your Pop.
Oh, great. I can't wait.
Let's see.
good times.
Mando coming back says, fun way to piss off an Islamist is to ask them what the Islamists did to trigger the crusade. It's almost better than Leftoid being held to account.
Yeah, they get pretty upset about that.
Yep. And Mando is also summoning him.
Ah,
His name has been spoken 3 times.
here we go.
Bolshevik.
Bolsheviks.
No, don't say it.
Bolsheviks.
No, please stop.
Bolsheviks.
It's showtime. Bolsheviks, baby. Everyone drink.
All right.
Let's see. Oh God. Oh God.
Oh, here we go. Ah,
This one comes from 68 Barracuda. Pop's pretty piggies feeding him peeled grapes dipped in their fromunda gunt man chowder zinc sauce, mixed with sriracha sauce and served with meat starbursts on Ritz crackers. Mmm, tasty.
from under Grunt. All right, yeah, it's a gut upper nuptial taint. It's kind of like a fupa, except one breaks your neck, the other one just, you got to push out of the way.
Yeah.
And not to be outdone.
All right.
Alucard, snot pocket sandwich with toasted genital warts meat, yeast infected chunky period blood with zinc noodles.
Why else the zinc noodles? What's that about?
With Garnurina zinc spam, starburst snot ketchup, schmegma cheese with pus vag juice smoothie.
Oh my God. You guys are wrong, man. You're just wrong in the head. All right. That was horrible.
Terrible, man. Terrible.
Makes me uncomfortable sometimes. I'm really hard to make uncomfortable with shit like that.
How do you think I feel? I'm the one that has to read these out loud.
Yeah, but then you have the objective distance there, though, Jimmy, because you're the one pushing the words forward as opposed to being bathed in them.
Yes.
True.
All right. Next one.
Let's see. We got Tomahawk Hero 5 says, I know it's unrelated, but the area that is in the Mediterranean was once dry land separated from the Atlantic by natural dam. If you lived on that land when the dam broke, you were having a bad day.
Bad day.
Yes, you are. Same thing with the Black Sea.
Yep. Let's see here. All right. We're getting into the duplicates here. And I know you don't want to hear about your pretty piggies feeding you peeled grapes again.
No.
Pop.
No. Move along.
Let's see here. Rumble, you guys really got to figure that out and unfuck this because that's the 5th time. This is a duplicate. Jesus Christ. Here we go. 68 Barracuda coming in says Google is giving you shit because Google is shit. I set Grok as my search engine. Bolshevikville, please. I can do that because we need to check on Dwarf and Nance.
In Bolsheviksville, where the sun shines bright, live Dwarf and Nance, what a charming sight. With Sandy the maid and Pop dropping by, and Hillary's antics that'll make you sigh. Oh, Dwarf and Nance, they've got it made, with laughter, love, and a living made. From morning toast to an evening dance, it's always a hoot with Dwarf and Nance.
I want to say, by the way, I'm going to find your fucking spy cam Billy Von Baum, because the clothing choices in that video are actually all right up my alley.
Yep.
Every one of those is something that I would wear at some point in time.
Except the disco suit.
No, from the Dwarf and Dance video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the sweater, the hoodie, the button-down shirt with jacket. That's I have all of those items. Get the fuck out of my house.
That's fucking
You
hilarious.
fucking freak.
Let's see. Alucard coming back says, hell broadcast on all human channels. Warning, warning. Alucard's status went from pest to menace to all night terror demons, succubi, incubi. Don't approach, Alucard. Do not approach.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I think they've started a therapy session because of Alucard's posts.
Yeah, I think so. And 68 Barracuda says, Battle Hobbit, yes, I would love a copy of the manuscripts.
Email me at thebattledwarf.pm.me and I'll send them. I've got a pretty good collection.
There you go. Got Jackal the Emperor coming in. Hey, good to see you, Jackal. It says, Steve, History March, Epic History, and Kings in general are the largest historical battle simulator channels I know of. Pop, drowning in butt cheek meat and fuckery. Run for your life.
Butt cheek meat and fuckery. That first channel I've heard of and have watched quite a bit of.
Yes.
Butt cheek meat and fuckery. That's one hell of a garage band name.
Yeah, it's a garage band name.
Let's see. Raging Sailor, he's summoning Beetle Dwarf, but you know what? Beetle Dwarf has already just been summoned. So you know what? Where's the button? Where's my special button? There it is, because Disco Dwarf is coming to town.
Right, spin around. Disco Dwarf, don't mess around. Snap your fingers, clap your hands. I'm the funkiest dude in all the land. He's a Disco Dwarf, you know his name. Bringing funky colors to the Hall of Fame. In a tie-dye suit, watch the people stare. When the Disco Dwarf boogie's everywhere. Disco, disco, disco Dwarf.
That outfit I do not have. The black t-shirt, yes. The rest of it. Oh, wait. Actually, now I have that outfit, and it will be showing up on the Halloween special. Yeah,
next month.
It's going to be great. Let's see here. We got Tomahawk coming back, says, Dwarf, is it true that the Gothic architecture in the Middle Ages was inspired by building techniques they learned about in the Middle East during the Crusades?
I saw that one. The claim there is about the arches. It is possible, however, that arches technology did not come from the Muslims. They got that from the Greeks, and that's where that comes from. It was a modification of classical Greek architecture, which became really, really elaborate as some guys went, oh, I can do this with stone? Cool.
And they did.
Yes. So the Muslims used techniques that were then later used by the French in the Gothic architecture. It does not belong to the Muslims. It's much older than that.
Yep. There you go. And Jack will come back, says, Dwarf, please send me those notes over to me. The fuckstick kid needs to keep his brain from going black on ammo. I refuse to be young and dumb. Fuck it. Placenta pepperoni and clit mozzarella pizza pop.
Fuck off, man. Stop. Oh my God. All right.
Again, don't eat the creme fraiche, because that creme is not very fresh.
Stop. It's just nasty.
Email me. I will send you the links and the manuscripts, whatever you want.
Yep. Jack will hit me up in Gilded. I can get you Steve's email right away to you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nick Coldis here with $20 says, for a good read, check out The Sword and the Scimitar by Raymond Abraham. 8 decisive battles from Yarmouk 636 to the Siege of Vienna 1683.
Okay.
The Sword. Scimitar. Looking at, yep, sure enough, there is. Look at that. I can get a copy of that for, yeah. I think I'm just going to use one of my audiobook points and get that. Okay.
There you go. Let's see.
Mrs. T getting that book.
Let's see. 60 Barracuda. Again, that's a duplicate. Let's see. That's also another duplicate. Rumble, you guys really need to fucking update your shit yourself. Let's see. And Nick Colt is coming back again. Yep. Nope. Never mind. That's duplicate. That's a duplicate, and that's also a duplicate. Jesus fucking Christ, Rumble. Come on. Pull your head out of your ass. Unfuck it. Let's see. Morgrat here. That's a new one. FYI, for a more in-depth info on tonight's topic, you can check out Robert Spencer's Politically Incorrect Guide to Islam and the Crusades.
Okay.
There are a lot of sources out there. I am going to advise one thing as you delve into this, should you. Read as many sources as you can. Read the oldest sources that you can and cross-reference them all. If there are lies, they will come out very quickly and they will be modern.
Yep.
There you go. Let's see. We got Last of the Boomers here with $5 says, arming the strong hand only how many troopers could be equipped with Sergeant Pop's authentically American, amazing ambient acquired arsenal?
Probably about 10 guys. No. Yeah, it's about 10 or 15 guys.
There you go.
Purchased. Thanks.
Thank you.
Added to the queue.
There you go. And 68 Barracuda coming back says, this history stuff is my absolute favorite. Keep it up. Like Pop keeps it up for Hillary's leaky cinnamon donut. Oh, God.
No, leaky cinnamon donut. Oh, man, that's brutal.
All right. That's horrible shit right there.
Turn off the U-Lube and play some Hog Rider. Again, we don't have Hog Rider added here, but you know what we do have?
We also can't play it on YouTube because we'll get a copyright strike.
Yeah. But what we do have is
stupid.
We got this right here, though. Pop showing his love to his girlfriend.
Okay.
So good and tasty.
It had to be Hillbilly Hillary with the Grunt.
I don't want to know what lips taste better, her upper lips or her.
Hey!
Stop. All right.
You're
horrible. You're horrible.
Hey, whoa, hey.
I know.
Out of bounds. You just went out of bounds.
That's okay. We're going to put a stop to the play clock then. Let's see. Professor Blake coming back says, hey, Pop, do you think we need a modern crusade to wipe out things? Just asking for a friend.
Well, let's just be honest.
We're there.
If the government fails, then people are going to rack up and pack up. And yes, that will be on the menu.
I am just going to state the obvious. The conditions have been met to some degree.
Yes.
Those conditions which existed between 632 AD and 1095 AD.
Yep.
Those conditions have been met.
Yeah. And I am one that has not seen combat or action like that, but I have read the menu. No, thank you. I am not hungry.
Yep.
I do not want that. And let's see. Hang on. That was Professor Blake. He's asking for the singing captain.
We did have a request for singing Pop. You guys are jackasses. Always want to watch the same shit over and over again. Pick new videos.
Look at me, I wanna be the captain of the sea.
About time.
The poop that came from me, I'd rather steer us to debauchery.
Careful what you ask for, video guy. Careful what you ask for.
Wow.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, let's see. Hooliganism coming in with $5 says, love the history. Good job, Dwarf. Can't wait to learn when the Kangs invented peanut butter.
They didn't. Sorry. I don't mean to blow it for you, but they didn't.
All right, next one.
Phrasing. Let's see. We got Dreadnox here with $20. Says a little similarity between the Muslims and Antifa.
A little bit.
Well, I prefer them. I prefer to call them Antquifa.
There's a lot more similarity between Antifa and the Bolsheviks.
Hang on.
Bolsheviks. Drink.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they're the same people, by the way.
The exact same people. Let's see. You got MX Stilgar here, aka Jerry Conway, the man with the golden voice. Good to see you, Jerry. He's asking, yes or no? Do not mausoleums worship a giant cube with a chrome dilated vulva on the corner with a glued together meteorite fragments inside?
The Kaaba. Yeah, that's called the Kaaba. No,
he's
not
also
the Kabbalah.
asking,
Not the Kabbalah. It's called the Kaaba.
Oh, whatever.
And he's also asking, how many of those words will Jimmy mispronounce?
Probably 3 of them.
I'm like Pop, more than 2 or 3 syllables, and yeah, you fry my brain.
You go off. The needle comes out of the
Let's see. Let's see. What word is he? Oh yeah, nope. I didn't mispronounce it. I knew what it was. He meant dilated, not dilated, because that's what he typed. So yes, I did not pronounce any of those words wrong. So gold star for me.
There you go.
Let's see. N2Gas here says, can we please get an AI video of Trump doing a PSA telling people not to drink antifreeze?
Okay, so fun fact for you, the Russian army is known for taking antifreeze and brake fluid, adding raisins to it, and making cheap booze so that they can get drunk in the field.
And they would die early.
Yes, but that is actually a real thing.
Yep.
Yeah, no thanks. Let's see. Raging Sailor here, he's coming in and says, so I'm going to be in the U.S. for Halloween.
Okay.
I'm dressing up as a Roswell Greenie, E.T. My buddy's dressing up as a huge chunk of frozen water and will be chasing me around. If you get it, you get it.
Okay. I don't get it, but that's fine.
Yeah, I don't get that one either. I'm afraid I'm not up on the whole alien lore thing.
Well, it's your mistake.
E.T. getting chased around by a chunk of huge frozen water.
I don't get it.
That one's over my head.
Next one.
He's an illegal alien being chased by ice. Fuck you! Fuck you! That's
totally did not.
Oh man,
I'm not worthy. I am.
God
not worthy.
damn it!
Oh man, I had to ruminate on that one for a second, but I got it.
I know somewhere, wherever MGTOW Mando is, he is just smiling and applauding for that joke.
That was a good one.
That was fantastic. Let's see. Alucard is coming back. He's also asking for the manuscripts of your copies there, Dwarf.
Email us.
Send us an email. I'll send them to you.
There you go. And hey, speaking of Mando, says, so like almost everything else the Muslims appropriated another cultural achievement. Shocker.
We all do that, to be honest with you, but that's fine.
Yeah.
If it's a good idea, we take it.
Yeah. I'm actually going to add one more thing to my list of people I don't trust. Those that don't trust dogs or dogs don't trust people.
If my dogs don't trust a person, I am leery of that person.
Correct.
Exactly. Let's see. Tomahawk here says, Dwarf,
except for Pop. My dog likes to just torment Pop.
Yes, he does.
Tomahawk here says, Dwarf, thanks for the answer on the Gothic architecture. I've seen many heated arguments about whether or not it's true. Online, of course.
The Muslims didn't even come into existence until 620 AD. That kind of architecture had been around for 1,000 years already. So, no. Yeah. They just did a very good job with it. Muslim arches are very pretty. They are.
Yes.
They did not invent it.
Nope. Let's see. Alucard, he's asking, Jimmy, is Kevin having a therapy session for my super chats? No. You're going to have to do a lot worse. A lot worse.
Yeah, you're Night Terror Demon.
Yep. Kevin's a good dude. I like him. He's cool. Let's see. Tomahawk here says, seriously, who doesn't want to go spelunking with Hillary?
No.
Wandering through her vaginal cavern with a miner's hat on?
No.
Oh, God. Oh, God. That reminds me, the chick that's married to the French PM submitted evidence that she is a woman.
Nope. No.
I don't care who you are. If you share those images on my timeline feed, I will block you because I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that monstrosity. No thanks. No, it's just bad, man. Bad. Let's see. Last of the boomers here on Rumble. It says a few years ago you mentioned a horse sauce and in an interesting bottle that helps joints bending, not rolling. What was that shite called again?
All right. Let's see. Finish Line supplements. They make a horse supplement. You can get it in a little bottle. It's about $40. It lasts you about 60 to 90 days. You can get it on Amazon. I mean, I've been taking it for years.
When I first reconnected with this guy back in 2009 and went into the bathroom in his house and saw the mad scientist colloidal silver processing facility and the horse sauce stuff, I did think, what the fuck has happened to this guy? And is he going to be okay? And is he still actually human or what?
Look, man.
Yeah, it was weird. It was very strange.
Like, I had like 60 soldiers on that stuff because it works.
Yeah.
We'd be in the field, right after chow, the sun comes up. I let it open my rucksack, pull out the bottle. People are like, is that motor oil? What are you doing? He's drinking oil. And they're like, no, it's got a picture of a horse on it. That's disgusting. And then later on, like, my back hurts. I'm like, well, just drink this. It'll be okay.
Yep. Just because it has a picture of a horse or a fish on it does not mean it is safe for human consumption.
It also doesn't mean it doesn't necessarily work. The shit works.
Yep.
And I have lots of antibiotics with pictures of fish on it, and they work as well.
Oh, trust me, Pop. I am trying to abide by the Pop supplement special, as you would, to help unfuck the situation that I'm in. So hopefully that helps out.
Is it working at all?
It does seem to be helping a little bit, but then again, it's only been a couple weeks. So
yeah, it's going to take time.
It's going to take time. Let's see. 68 Barracuda says, Pop, is your ESP whispering anything about you about the Muzzy European invasion?
There's a lot going on that, I keep seeing those numbers 36 and 38. I do not know what they mean. It's been bugging me for years, but something's coming up, man.
Yeah,
for sure. Especially in these days. Let's see. We got Net Guy 1975 says, Jimmy, let's mess with Pop. Make the Hog Slayer get it on with Hillary. God. Technically, that is illegal because that is using AI to
don't do that.
Fake a schmexual encounter. Let's not do that.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Unfortunately, that causes problems.
Yeah, it was it didn't take the left on Reddit quite long to do the same thing to Erica Kirk, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hope those people rot in federal prison for the rest of their lives.
People are going to get sued for that shit.
Yeah, they're at least going to catch a civil case at a minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Let's see. Oh God.
All right, bring it on.
Alucard, 1776. Hillary Clinton's cavern with snotty pus, goo mixed with starburst vomit, nodules of period blood placenta stew from oil.
Stop! It's making it worse. Stop, you motherfucker. God damn it. That's just horrible.
Oh, it's disgusting.
All right.
68 Barracuda here. I believe just a handful left here. Got 3 more here on Rumble here. 68 Barracuda says, if she didn't provide DNA with a proven chain of custody, she is a he. Pop did a great episode on that, better than the 8 gallons of man milk that Pop drank in that episode. No, he just got the chocolate milk in the eyeball.
Oh, that episode was brutal.
Oh my god.
The gallons of milk.
Blake's face when I show up with all this. What are you doing? We got props now?
Yeah, that
over here on Redonkulas, we got props.
That and the meat scooping episode.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the
genocide.
Genocide, yeah.
Genocide.
Listen, that had to happen. It had to happen. I'm sorry.
It's brutal shit, dude.
Let's see. Jackal coming back says, we could do worse by sending the furry Luna lovers, femboy fang forces, and cornfield cougar cohorts to lay siege to Jimmy's house if we want to send Kevin reeling. Now I vomit.
All right.
Well, I would advise you give me a call before you send anyone to my house, because if you knock on my door, let's just say I will not be very inviting.
We understand completely.
Dreadnox here says, I hope you guys are getting advertisement revenue from all the generic AI generated ads they throw into your videos on the Rumble phone.
We're not.
Mentioned
we do get stuff
about
on Rumble, but it's not. We only have 12,000 subscribers on there. It's not that big.
Yep. And mentioned something about it the other week. So yeah. Oh, actually, I meant to mention this to Blake as well as you. Someone's been claiming copyright on Facebook posts that are over 2 to 3 years old.
What?
Whatever.
Yeah. 2004 to 2024 to 2022. I think I've had 3 notifications saying, "Oh, this person's claiming copyright claim."
No, you can ignore that shit.
Yeah.
Those people can smurf the ball.
We get I get emails from people saying that some of the images we use are copywritten. I've gotten some stuff in the mail.
I've already defeated that shit.
Yeah, but they want you to send money to a Swiss bank account. It's a bunch of bullshit. And we don't even make that much money. Come on. I mean, I'm lucky if we gross like $55,000 a year doing what we do. I mean, it's nothing. And I split it between me, Blake, and I mean, most of the stuff that we get that isn't used to pay other people, I use to buy equipment, pay for drive space, and internet speed.
All the services that we use. And
yes.
Yeah.
But let's see. We did have a couple more over on the YouTube side. And good news, guys. We got more likes than viewers.
Whoa! How did we do that?
323 likes and 293 viewers. So
well, the thing with Rumble is you have to actually, to leave a comment, you have to sign in. You have to have
yeah. That's one thing that I don't like about Rumble, but it's still better than YouTube. Let's see. Homeschool time. The last 2 over here on the YouTube side. Says, love the history stuff. Keep it up. GD Medic.
All right.
There you go. And Goat Milk, he's asking you how much I got to spend for a Russian Pop.
I think that's a repeat.
Singing Pop. We did that.
Yeah, we did that one.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
It's fine. It happens.
We try not to repeat them because it does get brutally repetitive if we do it in the same show over and over.
Well, and it's a new super chat. I was thinking Goat Milk was asking for how much for a Russian mail order bride.
No, don't do that.
No.
We're not doing that.
Don't do that.
They're
Bad.
very expensive.
Yes. Let's see. Frank Rizzo here, 1999. He's giving us a big ol' thank you.
Thank you very much, Ray. Appreciate that. We got some Rumble sneakiness going on.
Of course. There wouldn't be a stream without the sneaky bastard.
Without sneaky Rumble.
Let's see. Alucard is asking, did Kevin squirm, Jimmy? Alucard, Kevin has been my Night Terror demon for going on about 1.5 years now. Oh. He has seen things. Trust me. Whatever things you say does not faze him. He just shakes his head and says, do better.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. Let's see. Halbert86 says Hillary herp blister juice spread on AOC's yeast toast, topped with Big Mike's Neapolitan and nozzle snot.
God damn it.
Jesus, dude.
You guys are brutal.
And Alucard again, those that don't know, it's Kevorkian pastime to make each other puke, and it's tradition.
I almost bought Kevorkian's car.
Wow. That would have been pretty cool.
He had a 1997 purple Crown, not a Crown Victor, but Buick Riviera. I love that car.
1997?
Yeah, I have one in the driveway. I have a black Buick Riviera. I love that car.
All right. All right.
And last one here on the Rumble side. Again, the absolute last one is from Tomahawk. He said, sneaky, sneaky.
Being sneaky bitches has become a tradition here.
I like
sneaky bastards.
Sneaky bastards. We ready for cash apps?
Let's see. I think we had a few over on the MGTOW side, I think. Yep, we had a couple of them. Let's see. First one from Crazy Uncle. Good to see you there, good sir. Says, just so you don't get too dark tonight, a little funny. Whenever you hear a feminazi claim they drink male tears, just laugh. Reason, click this link. He's got an Urban Dictionary link. Oh, God.
No.
Male tears, according to Urban Dictionary, slang for semen, sometimes sold as merchandise, mugs, t-shirts, etc., and purchased by women to low-key indicate they perform oral sex.
Okay.
Fucking zinc deposit right down the gullet.
That's just nasty. Thank you.
Let's see. Here we got Transformational Synergy says for $10 says a bit of channel help. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Jump over to the Odyssey side of things here. Looks like got one from Blankets says, what do you think will happen when ABC and Kimmel with ABC and Kimmel now that he has his show back?
Kimmel killed himself, man.
Well, here's the thing.
They were looking for a reason to cancel him.
ABC and Disney put Kimmel back because the people on the left are boycotting Disney.
Yeah.
But they have no idea when the whole right decides, fuck you, Disney, Disney's going out of business.
Yeah.
They've been fucking around for years now.
Yes.
They're going to get theirs.
That
they killed their brand.
It doesn't help that some crazy leftist retard. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Also, you're redundant.
Decided to shoot up an ABC affiliate in Sacramento and leave a list saying that the president, what's her face? I don't know. Her name escapes me all the time. And Kash Patel, you're next.
Uh-huh.
Gee, and I wonder why people are losing their fucking minds over shit. And if you get fired for saying stuff like that, I don't care about you.
Fair enough.
Oh, but free speech.
Kimmel killed himself. The guy's just not funny.
No.
How the left didn't quote unquote cancel him for his man show shit? Are you fucking kidding me? You people are.
His writers are crap, and he's no good at delivering. He's just not. Nobody was Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson was a fucking legend.
But Johnny Carson, he stayed away. He just, but you know what I'm saying. He stayed away from the political side. He just wanted to be funny and make people laugh.
He knew what he was doing. Which is to say, he knew why he was there.
Yeah. Well, that and the Smith-Mundt Act was also being enforced at that time, which hopefully that comes back.
No, Carson knew where his money was, straight up.
Yeah.
Carson understood what he was doing. And so did frickin', as a matter of fact, Jay Leno, although Jay Leno started to fade out at the end there. When Jay Leno started, he knew what he was doing as well. He took his cues from Johnny.
Uh-huh.
But then he started over time to... And then he gracefully retired, fortunately.
Over time, they took the retard knob, cranked it from 1 to 2 to 3, and sat there for a little while, and then all of a sudden they just cranked it up and went Full retard.
All right, next one.
Next one. Carry on.
right.
We can go
Let's
on
see
all
here.
night about that one.
Oh, yeah, don't let me do. don't let
We
me
literally did a show about it, the death of late night.
Yep. Let's see. Looks like had a couple more over on the Rumble side. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Alicard here says, "Is that a challenge? Is that a challenge, Kevin? Are they still mad at me for destroying hell?" You haven't made much of an impression there, Alicard.
Sorry.
Do better. And last one here of the night, ladies and germs, is from 68 Barracuda. Says, every business eventually dies. Sears, Kmart, but not Shop Smart. Shop Smart. That's smart, you primitive screwheads. Nice reference. Blockbuster with their one remaining store in Bend, Oregon, and Woolsworth.
I used to shop at Woolworths all the time.
Yep.
And stay out of the
My
Woolsworth.
guns there all the time.
This is my boomstick. $89.95. S-Smart. Shop Smart.
Shop Smart. Shop S Smart.
You ready for super chats?
Great one there. Cash apps. Yes, I believe we are.
We just did all the super chats.
Yeah, I know. I fucked up. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
All right, we got Susan McCarley with her $30. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
and love this topic. Thank you. We got Rusty Shackelford for 50.
Thanks, Rusty.
Tennessee muzzle loader.
Hey, yeah, that's a do it, Jimmy.
Wrong one.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
We got Ronald Green for 50, and this is I appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Outstanding.
$50, so he needs a we're not worthy of something.
Thanks for your support.
We got $5 from Brad Engel, 69 Cadillac DeVille Ragtop Ride and Roast.
Yeah.
All right.
69 Cadillac DeVille. I'll take it.
Nice.
Another one from Brad. Can you respond to with email address? You can send it to redonkulas12@gmail.com, and I usually forward it to Battle Dwarf anyway.
Yeah.
He
I'll
gets
get him.
mad at me. I forward so much stuff to him.
It does make me angry, but I have it figured out now.
Justin Hagenbottom for 25 on history lessons. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I believe we're all up on Cash App.
All caught up there then. All righty. Let me do one more quick run through just in case. Because I know you bastards like to sneak one in on me.
That's what she said.
Yeah. All right. It looks like we are all good over there. How did we do on the Twatter Sphere tonight? We had 147 views.
Wow. Oh, holy shit. We're getting some Twatter action.
That's the most we've ever had. All right.
If you guys are on Twatter, follow Pop, follow Battle Dwarf, follow me. You guys will be getting the show links and all that good stuff and all that good shit and whatnot. Yeah. But then again, we have to end the night with some words from our mascot, Tom, the Reasonable Rooster.
Hey guys, it's me, Tom. I'm here to say, virginity is like a bubble. One prick, and it's all gone.
Totally right.
This is not how I pictured Tom, the Reasonable Rooster, but here we go.
There we go.
And one final thought from Tom, the Reasonable Rooster.
Hey guys, it's Tom. You know, a man with his hand in pocket all day isn't crazy. He's just feeling nuts.
I like how Tom has the dragon fruit mustache and beard.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
That. But alrighty, ladies and germs, you guys know my whole spiel here. I don't want to invite guests. I want, where's my button at? Present or invite. That's the button I want. Share screen. Jesus Christ. Holy shit, StreamYards. Unfuck yourself.
What? Huh?
I gotta do this.
What's going on? What's Jimmy doing?
Now I gotta do this. Hey, jump on over to the merch store because you can get yourself a shirt from the Suck a Dick. Finishing school for modern women. and we all know the summa cum laudes swallow.
All right.
Sorry, I thought that joke was a lot funnier in my head. But anyways, Battle Dwarf, your final thoughts for tonight.
Once again, what I put out tonight was basically just a 101. It's to get you oriented and get the ideas into your head of what all of that stuff really was. The Crusades was an effort to save the last Christian kingdoms in that region. So if you have any questions or if you want the notes, etc., just let me know. Happy to provide.
There you go.
All
All righty, Pop. We're ready for the safety briefing.
All right. Here's the safety briefing from retired First Sergeant Pop. All right. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and swim. It's not going to work out for you. If you absolutely must fornicate, wear a condom, take it with you, and flush it down the toilet. Watch it go all the way down. Why? Because women are sneaky bitches and child support does last 18 to 21 years, depending upon the state you are in. Rack up, pack up, and stack up. There's always safety in numbers, and maintain your situational awareness, because if you're going to be attacked, something in your environment will have changed. It's up to you to see it. And last but not least, I'm sick and tired of throwing you dudes in the dirt because you're taking a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Play the long game. Stay in the fight. And if all else fails, live at a motherfucking spite. And always remember, Uncle Pop is here cheering for you for all of your victories, even the ones you can never tell anyone about. Boom, beer me.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, as always, be careful when your woman is doing the dishes because, well, that shot glass of yours, that favorite shot glass, maybe it's even a Redonkulas shot glass. Well, just be sure that she doesn't wash the cootie juices in the dishes because that's disgusting. That shot glass will turn into a squirt glass.
Ugh.
You don't want that. Disgusting. Out!